What's going on, guys? Back here in the session. We're doing fine with Connor James, and today I have a very special guest, Doug Guillory, Coach Bass, a man I've been talking about forever. You know, we had that cool little Ponce video go viral a little bit. I had probably, I don't know, 100,000 people reach out to me, and this guy is a legend, and he's here. He's cooking for me tonight. What do we have today? What are we cooking?
Got some beef tongue and pork roast.
Beef tongue and pork roast.
And the side dish, we got some smothered potatoes with some good sausage.
Oh man, it is smelling some kind of good, and I'm so excited to try it. So might as well. He drove all the way over here, and look, this is kind of sponsored by Barry Bordelon.
Bordelon's Furniture. He has 3 locations, but he supplied the tongue and the roast, and also his son Drew has the Buck Wild season that he's putting out in the shelves here and there, so you can find it. It's a big purple and gold can, Buck Wild. He says put a little buck in your food.
Yeah, man. Well, this is you're the first podcast guest that I've had, and I'm excited, man. I'm trying to get all this computer stuff situated and put away, and messing with the programs and everything, and I'm looking forward to editing this video. I'll tell you that. But what have you been up to, Coach? I mean, what have you? Look, let's just start from the. Let me tell you how I know Coach Doug. I know you from you came to False River Academy back in 2014, maybe something like that. 2013. You coached us for probably a year or so.
You did for a year, yeah.
I did football, and you lived on the river. You lived the Point Capee farmer's lifestyle.
It was awesome.
And man, we got to. That's how you told us about all these foods that you grew up on. You grew up cooking, and that's when we had the Ponce. You cooked it in the coach's office.
Yeah.
Good Lord, I remember whenever you brought that propane burner inside and tried burning the whole place down.
I wasn't worried.
I know you weren't. But yeah, man, look, let everybody get to know you a little bit. Tell me where you grew up. Let's start from there. Where did you grow up? What were you doing?
Born and raised in Ville Platte, Junk Pile Road. We were living there until we moved to Ville Platte, but went to Sacred Heart High School, went to McNeese. Well, I went to
let's
UAL
start.
For a little while. I went to a few places, but
so
I graduated at McNeese.
You started ninth grade, went to Ville Platte?
I was at Evangeline Academy, actually, until 5th grade. My daddy was a principal there, and Evangeline Academy was closing down, so we moved to Sacred Heart that time. About the 5th grade, I got to Sacred Heart and graduated there.
Okay, and your dad was a principal at Sacred Heart?
No, at Evangeline Academy.
Evangeline Academy.
Ag teaching and assistant principal.
Is that still a school, Evangeline Academy?
No, they shut down, and that's why we had to move.
Did you move with him? Did he go somewhere?
No, he moved. He went into the state, and he was running the health unit in Evangeline Parish. He was the head of the health unit.
Health unit?
The health, like you go to the health unit.
Okay, in a hospital or something?
No, the state health unit. I don't know what else you call them, but
yeah, I don't know. I'm not familiar with it either.
Okay.
So so you always were in Ville Platte, kind of.
Yeah, until I graduated, then I moved to Lake Charles with the McNeese. Then I went back to UL for a little while, followed some little chick I was dating, and that didn't work out. Back to McNeese and graduated there.
Did you play some sports in middle school?
No, I was 160 pounds in high school. Oh, in school, high school, yeah. I played sports in high school.
What did you play in high school?
I played football, track a little bit, but I didn't like track my whole lot. Basically, just football in high school.
What A was Ville Platte back then? Sacred Heart.
We were single A back then. It wasn't the 5As; it was a 4A, and so we were single A.
So you always like False River single A?
Yeah, and it wasn't select like it is now. Everybody played together, so the district was.
They started that
public and
after
private.
I was gone, so they started
everybody
that
makes the
back
playoffs now. It's a cinch,
So you did track. How fast were you in track?
I didn't run track very much. Actually, I got in a bad wreck. I was probably driving about 115 miles an hour, racing home with one of my friends. We were racing home, and
how old were you?
15 and a half, 16 years old, and truck ran the stop sign, and I smashed into him, and
you ran the stop sign, or the truck did?
The truck did,
Okay.
And so my nose was touching my ear, I believe. It just the whole side of my face.
Oh my God!
But I crawled out the truck upside down. I told my friend, I said, "Go turn off my lights, turn on my battery to die." My truck was like a beer can squished,
Oh my God!
And
Were you in the hospital?
Oh, I had surgery a couple of times on my nose. I was in the hospital for a while, so I missed a couple. I missed basketball season, missed baseball season. So when football came around, I just stuck to football after that.
Yeah. What did you play in football?
Defensive end, offensive tackle, but I was 160 pounds. You know, I was 16 years old actually.
You're
My
saying
senior year.
you're saying you're 160 pounds. Is that like you saying
That was small.
that was small for back
Yeah,
then?
yeah, that was small.
I bet you them rice-fed boys. I used to hate playing them people from the Evangeline Parish, and once you got past Opelousas, them guys were about twice as big as, as we were.
Well,
Anytime we had to play Opelousas Catholic, Sacred
Yeah.
Heart, or Eunice, man, them guys were so big, way bigger than us.
Well, I was 16 years old my senior year. My parents wanted to get me out the house quick. I guess they put me in kindergarten early. So 2 years later, when I should have been in high school, I was 18 years old. I was at McNeese. Then I was weighing 230.
So
and
when
running
it,
a 4740.
So after, I guess, your junior year in high school, you just played football after that?
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
football. Who was
yeah.
your coach back then in football?
Coach Bobby Swallow, he's in the Hall of Fame now. He's a legend, you know.
Okay.
And,
Because you're a coach now,
Yes,
and
sir.
still are. And so, like, was Bobby Swallow, what made you want to go into coaching like that?
different things, different things. But Coach Bobby was a great head coach, and he was a good person and a family man, and just a really good football coach. We also had Coach Jerry Orr when I came in there, was a young guy. We had Jeff Davie was a young coach, you know, just out of college, and the Arnold brothers, and we were fortunate to have had some good coaches to work underneath. And they were hard on us now. Don't,
Yeah, I get. Look,
The
what did
water
y'all
break, there was
compared
no water
to
break like
coaching? Compared to coaching now than there was back then.
Oh, it's not.
Tell me some of the stuff in high school,
I'm
y'all.
going to tell you this. We had no water breaks. We would practice for 3 hours in August, twice a day. In the morning for like, it wasn't 8 o'clock in the morning where it was cool. We would go like 10 o'clock to 12:30 or 1 o'clock. Then we'd come back at like 3 o'clock to 5:30 or 6, just about the hottest part of the day.
Oh my God!
And if we had a good practice, Coach Bobby would walk out with a bag of ice, and he'd kick the little bit of grass he could find, so it was all dirt, and he'd break that bag of ice open, he'd dump it on the ground, he'd take his time, and he'd fold it up in a little square, he'd put it in his back pocket. And I'm not even lying now. He'd walk away, and we had a big circle, and the circle would open up and let him out. He'd say, "Go get it," and you had to run and grab some ice. If you stuck some mud in your mouth with some ice cubes mixed in it, you were a happy man.
Oh my God!
Man, we would squeeze our shirts, the sweat. We'd drink our sweat at practice. All they would give us is salt tablets. They had big giant bottles of salt tablets. Here, eat that. That'd be good for you.
Oh, I bet that's terrible.
Nowadays, they run around with a water cow, you know,
Hey,
40
better.
gallons of water, and they drink water
Jeez.
whenever you feel like it. Oh, shit. We didn't know what water was.
Man, I remember somebody at False River had gotten in trouble one time because we had no water out on the thing. And I mean, in August, you know, you're sitting in pads and you got a bunch of kids that are 15, 16, 17, and yeah, running back and forth, and you don't have any water. It's like,
Yeah.
man, we're gonna die out
The
here.
lawyers
but
are circling the field.
I'm telling you, my goodness. So he made y'all scrounge for ice in the mud.
We seriously wore under our shoulder pads long T-shirts to absorb as much sweat as they could, so we could wring them out into our mouth. I mean, that was our water.
That's insane.
And we'd puke. You said, "Puke on your own time, boy. Run, let's go."
Man, when I first got into like working out and stuff, that's when Coach Ray was there. I think it was a little bit. It was probably his first year or so, and I wasn't. I was just a little fat kid, and I didn't know much about working out at all. The only thing I knew about working out was if you had powder, like protein powder or something, you mixed it with milk. So I was going to do my first workout, and I had to do it special with just Coach Ray in the morning. For some reason, I had missed
Your
one of
schedule,
them, and
too.
I wanted to catch back up. So he was like, "Well, come with me tomorrow. Everybody else won't be there, but you can come." And I showed up, and I had bought some pre-workout, and I put it. My mom was driving me. I couldn't even drive yet, so my mom was driving me to work out with Coach Ray, and I had a protein shaker. I filled it up with milk, and I don't drink milk. I poured the protein, the pre-workout in the protein shaker with the milk, and I drank grape-flavored pre-workout before my workout mixed with milk, and then we go work out. And Coach Ray, we did a little bit of workout, and then he had me go run outside, vomited milk everywhere,
That
of
can't be
course. And I was like, well, I don't know what that was about. Didn't taste good either. But
Yeah, we didn't have none of that stuff growing up.
Yeah.
Peanut butter, you eat a lot of peanut butter, and you eat late at night, so when you go to sleep, you wouldn't burn it off. It would kind of stick to your ribs a little bit.
I always heard that sticking to your ribs.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the gravy sticks to your ribs a little bit.
Yeah, we try to get fat.
Y'all, whenever y'all were at Sacred Heart, did y'all run any state championships or anything like that?
No, we had
Take me through y'all's best season in high school.
when I was playing, it was a hit and miss. I think it was my freshman or sophomore year. We had T-shirts made, 0-10, never again. The Black Sheep, they were called. The Black Sheep of our seniors, and they named themselves the Black Sheep because they were just a different kind of group, you know. And we weren't very good that year.
You got some
So-
good players. Anybody go to college or anything?
Not that year for sure. The next year, I think we went 4-6. I think my senior year we went 6-4 and won district. And then the following year, it started coming back. CR has a lot of tradition of winning football games, you know, old tradition. And it just hit a lull in there for a while. And then, but we were one of the senior classes that went 6-4, won district, and started things going again. And so they've been pretty dang good ever since then. Not Super Bowl, not state championship quality, but good, solid football, you know.
I remember every time we'd play Sacred Heart, it happened one time in a year. We'd have to take off. We'd have to play the game on Thursday.
Yeah, squirrel
Why
season.
do we have to play the game?
Squirrel season. There was nobody left in town Friday.
They did that back then too.
Oh, that started way before me.
Yeah.
They called it squirrel season, squirrel holiday, but then the state said, y'all can't take off. The whole school can't shut down. for
The whole
squirrel."
school shuts
so now they call
down.
it budget day.
Budget day.
So now it's legal.
That's when everybody's going to check their checkbooks.
Yeah,
Make
the
sure
women
they got
go
it
shopping, the men go to the woods, and there ain't nobody left in town. If you're a crook, you can get rich real quick.
Y'all have any cool? So like, whenever y'all were, y'all have some players that went to college when you were playing.
Not when I was playing.
Was that a big thing that guys wanted to do when you were coming up?
Well, I mean, if they were good enough, we had some guys. Baseball, Sacred Heart has always been good. State championships, quite a few, and so we had some guys go play baseball in college. But football, it was never. We were never like that type of blue chip kind of athlete. There, it was just a lot of heart. You know, work hard.
A lot of farmers working hard, farmer guys.
I was raised on a farm. Hell, I was driving a tractor when I was 9 years old all day long, and
Yeah, tell me, tell me, like your mom and your dad, how they raised you. Tell me about your growing up life. Tell me,
we had 6 kids in the family, and we were raised kind of poor, and then Daddy had a master's degree. He told me a story one time. He rode in the back of a truck with about 3 or 4 other guys, and they would drive to Natchitoches every day for school.
for Ville Platte.
From Ville Platte to Natchitoches every day to get his master's degree. He
College.
graduated UL, yeah. And so he graduated UL, and then that was how he got his master's. They had to ride in the back of a truck back and forth, and this is way back in the 50s and 60s, you know, a long time ago. I'm sure that wasn't maybe not uncommon, you know.
Wow.
But, so he worked his way up, a very smart man, and he worked his way up and got a good state job. And you know, after many years, you build up, your salary builds up, and so that was always into get quick rich schemes. You know, he always wanted to get rich quick, and it never really worked out. So him and one of my older brothers, they started a farm. We farmed about 2,000 acres of land, and so I was.
How do you fall into 2,000 acres of land?
We had like 1,600 acres of beans we farmed, and then we had a few hundred acres of rice. And so
Where do you get that from?
Oh, you can rent it out, lease the land. Just lease the land, and then, you know, he had all the equipment, the tractors and all that, and the combines and everything else. And so I worked my butt off when I was young. I was constantly on a tractor. I remember a couple of times I had a date with a little girl I was dating in high school, and he said, "We planting, boy. You can't go no damn date tonight." And so I was driving the tractor
Come on,
all night
Dad.
long under the moonlight, and so I couldn't even call her. There wasn't no cell phones back then, so I was like, she's gonna be like, where the hell is that? You know, waiting for him to come get her. And so one time I felt so bad. They had a little store down the road. We were in Turkey Creek out there, Crooked Creek area. So I drove the tractor with a 21-foot plow folded up down the road about 14 miles an hour until I got to a payphone at the time, which I don't know what payphones are no more, I guess. But I got to that payphone, and I called her, and her name was Melissa. I said, babe, I'm on a tractor all night. Dad said, I can't leave. All right. So I just you know, it was breaking my heart. I was going to stand there up again. But when we had to put
Golly.
the beans in the ground. We had to put them in the ground. There wasn't no way around it, you know.
They still got beans over there, and
Oh yeah.
Man,
soybeans. Oh yeah.
that's
a
a-
lot of rice fields too.
you just gotta hope it doesn't rain, right?
Well, you want it to rain. Sometimes it gets so dry, your beans won't grow, and you need some rain, but you need it at nice intervals, you know, to where it won't flood either.
Did your mom did she have a job or anything like that?
Mom worked here and there. Basically she was stay-home mom, raised the kids. And she did have some jobs along the way, but we lived off the farm. We had cattle, we had chickens, we had donkeys, we had goats, ducks, guinea pigs. We had everything that wasn't on demand, and so we would have gardens and we eat a lot of the own food we grew and butcher our own cattle and pigs and all that. And so
Oh yeah, that's where you first learning to get that pork in there, huh?
yeah.
Ville Platte's all about the pork, man.
They have the boucherie.
You-
The old boucherie is when you kill a pig and you use everything. There
Well,
wasn't
tell
nothing but a
me,
waste.
tell me the boucherie. I've never been to one, so tell me what y'all used to do.
A boucherie, basically, you shoot a pig in the head and you start from scratch. You skin it, you put it in boiling water, and you skin it, and then you take the fat part, and that's what you're gonna make the cracklings with. You make hog head cheese out of the cheeks and the jaws and all that, and then you butcher the rest of it, and you put that in the freezer, and there's no better eating than a corn-fed calf or pig, and you
Oh,
butcher
yeah.
it yourself. The taste is you go to Walmart, buy, you throw that away.
What was it? What do you remember your parents first like? It probably the boucherie, but what do you remember your parents first making for y'all? Like, oh man, what is that? Or
Oh.
like, what was your favorite meal that your parents used to make for you?
Oh, I don't know. A lot of everything was good. They cooked good, and everything we ate was good. I had no complaints on anything.
You ever had blood boudin?
No, I can't stand it. No, I bought that one time in Turkey Creek or somewhere, and it's red blood. I said, "What the hell is that? What the hell is this?" No, I gave it to my dog. My dog wouldn't eat it.
Oh,
No, I don't know. What
I
that
never
is.
thought I'd like it either. It
I
just
couldn't.
blood in the first place. Just
I don't know. I still can't tell you. I'm telling you. I'm seriously. Got home, gave it to my dog. My dog walked away.
oh my god,
That's terrible.
Turkey Creek. So you grew up on the farm. Were you getting paid? Were they paying your parents
I
paying
got
you? to
paid
do
one
that?
time in about 7 years. I got a crisp $100 bill for Christmas. Yeah. Old man would give me when I could start driving. When I was 15, he'd give me a tank of gas and a $20 bill.
Yeah.
Go, boy. That's for the weekend.
Did you have any other jobs when you were growing up?
Hell, I worked I
Or
worked
just
all
the
the time
farm?
on the farm. And
So you couldn't make it like go out and make other money besides the farm.
no.
You had to
I
work
mean,
the
it was
farm.
school, it was work, and then I'd try to get the baseball practice. Hell, when I was 13 years old, he gave me the farm truck. He said, "I can't bring you to baseball practice." So it was like 30-mile drive from almost in Oakdale to Ville Platte. He gave me the farm truck. So I was 13 years old. I got to practice. I'd get there probably like 10, 15 minutes late most of the time. And
You drove.
I had to if I had to get to practice. I was 13 years old behind that wheel, old farm truck.
Oh my gosh,
But
man.
they didn't have time to bring me. It was too busy. And so the coach understood what I was doing, so he didn't say nothing. When I walked in the field, I said, "Coach, I'm here."
Yeah, I mean, if he saw a 13-year-old getting out of a truck, just made a 30-mile
It wasn't like
drive.
all the time, but
Yeah.
it happened a few times, yeah.
Well, good Lord. Did y'all have like employees that worked on the farm? Or
We had a couple. They were not too reliable, the ones we'd hire. Sometimes they would we had to go pick them up in the morning, wake them up, and it was it was rough to find some good employees to drive a tractor.
how many people?
It was me. My brother would drive the tractor when he had to. We had a couple other guys. We had a guy named Slick, and he's gone now, but we call him Slick. And this guy lived under a bridge. That's where Daddy found him. And poor thing. I mean, he had a rough life. He was the best mechanic you ever can find. He could break down an engine, put it back together. It's unbelievable. But he was an alcoholic, and had a rough life. And Daddy found him under a bridge and got him, and he gave him a place in the barn, a little bed in the barn, and everything else. And he put him up there. And it was try to keep him sober. When he was sober, he could fix anything there was.
Yeah.
And so he was a good guy to have around, and he ended
Oh,
up
wow.
burning our barn down, fell asleep in bed with a cigarette and burned the whole
Oh my God. He didn't die?
family. No, we got him out of there. But
Jesus Christ, dude.
yeah,
But
it's
so,
different times than you got now. But
whenever y'all were, you're working on this farm, you're doing the school and everything. Well, what do you have time to go do stuff on your own? What do y'all go do on your own? when
I
y'all
like
had
to go skiing at Crooked Creek. With
water skiing?
Yeah, water skiing.
Y'all had a boat?
Well, Daddy had a 21-foot skeeter with a 115 Johnson on the back, and a friend of mine, Randy Whittington, lived down the road not far from him, a good friend of mine, and he had a nice bass boat, and usually it was an hour or two, but sometimes somebody else had a boat, and we'd go to Crooked Creek, and we would go skiing out there and have a blast.
You ever went on Miller's Lake? I hear about that all the
yeah,
time.
Fish there all the time. Yeah, you can't go skiing in there, full of stumps and trees, but some good fishing.
A lot of people duck hunt over there.
Full of good.
Y'all
Duck,
did some duck hunting?
a lot of good duck hunting. Yeah, yeah. Whiteville has some of the best duck hunting around Evangeline.
I used to hunt in Whiteville. We hunted there for about 2 or 3 years, and it sounded like a war zone every time
Oh yeah,
we'd go in
the
there.
Sylvesters have a lot of property, and they rent out some duck blinds. But
Yep.
Tim and Sylvester and my brother Todd were good friends, and they had a duck blind together.
We
So
hunted
I
right
was
there
able
by
to go with him.
Sylvester and them.
Yeah, good, good.
It was
duck-
actually
good goose hunting.
swallows at the front. Were on WPA,
Yeah, that's right.
and we had the swallows had a camp in the front, and then this other guy. I'm blanking on his name now, but him and his brother. Oh, they had the airplane. Robert.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember.
They have the plane
The crop
business,
dusting.
the crop dusting
Yeah.
stuff, and they had the farm, and their dad had the farm and everything, and I think their dad passed away, so they kind of inherited it. So him and his brother are trying to manage this. I don't even know how many acres they had. Probably 5,000. I don't know.
The Sylvesters had a lot of land. The crop dusters, not sure about them, but I knew the
Billows or
Beardo maybe. I'm not sure.
I don't know. Anyways, there was some good duck hunting, even though there was 1,000 people hunting every
A
night.
lot of good duck hunting
Every
around
day.
there. And yeah, and like I went to school with Lisa Sylvester. She was one of the girls in my class that was the daughter of Chester Sylvester, who had all the land, all the duck blinds, and all that. You know.
Yeah. So after high school, what was your interest after high school for? Did you want to go play college ball, pro ball? Did you want to go to school for something?
No, I was
What'd you?
too small coming out. Like I said, I was 16 years old my senior year, so I wasn't mature
You were 16
enough.
years old. Your
Oh yeah,
freshman, your senior year.
I graduated in.
How'd you graduate so early?
Well, I graduated at 17. I turned 17 my senior football season in October.
Oh, okay.
Like the 2 games left to play, I turned 17. So
Yeah.
I should have been there for 2 more years. Like I said, we had 6 kids. I was the second, the youngest. So they wanted me out the house quick, I guess.
I'm sure your dad. I feel. I know the kind of same thing with the family business and stuff. Your dad, was he begging you, like telling you you're going to come work on the farm once you're out of high
By
school?
that time, the farm, we had like 3 bad years in a row of bad weather. And he ended up going bankrupt and had to go buy his own house back at an auction. So,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. The one you were living in?
Yeah, the one we were living in. Yeah, they lost the house, so he had to go to an auction and buy his own house back. It
Oh,
was rough
my.
times back then. There wasn't nothing easy.
Golly, what did he end up doing after that?
He went back to work with the state again full time, and
Doing med stuff?
he was the director of the
Director of
unit.
health, yeah.
The director of the health unit. It's a place where people with less fortune or less wages go and they get free medicines or whatnot.
Did you went to McNeese after high school?
Yeah, go Pokes.
Did you? Man, a lot of our coaches we had at Falls River went to McNeese
Hey,
over
this
there.
is a great place, bro.
And Will Wade from LSU went to McNeese. But he ended up turning that basketball program around. But what'd you go do at McNeese, man? What was Lake Charles
I got
like?
drunk and raised hell until I flunked out of school, and then I had to go work like a dog. And then finally I said, Daddy, I'm ready to go back to school. He said, good, go. He said, you on your own now?
So, all right. So you're coming out of high school. What's your plan now?
I went to McNeese. I went over
So
there
are you
and,
funded by McNeese? Were you?
no,
Did you get a
well, I had
grant to go
grant. I had
play?
a Pell Grant, which I don't know if they have that these days.
Yeah.
But a Pell Grant, and then and a loan, and then Daddy would help me out with the tuition and all that. And after 1 year,
What were you majoring in?
I think I started off in radiology, maybe.
Really?
And then I switched to what was it? Forestry,
Okay.
something like that.
Want to be a wildlife agent,
Yeah,
maybe?
Yeah. And then I jumped in back. When I went back, I ended up in coaching in health and PE.
Yeah.
My
What was your?
first year or so? I think I had a 0.003 GPA. I was drunk all the time and lost all my grant, lost all my money, and so I had to go start working in some crazy jobs. And it was for a year.
Where'd you go work at?
Swallow Irrigation in Ville Platte was one place. It was like you make these big tees in the rice field, these plastic tees, and you got about 300-degree water. You got to dip them in. I mean, talk about sweat profusely. It was bad.
What are they doing with plastic teeth?
They make
Mending
a
them
fortune.
together?
They make a fortune. They make these big tees using rice field. You stick them in a levee, the water flow in and out, and a bunch of different things. They use these big PVC pipes. I mean, 24 and 48-inch pipes, and they make a lot of money over there.
What?
Mr. Jose Swallow started it off, and he actually invented the things that form these PVC pipes, and so they're a very successful business.
It was a factory.
It was it's just like a little building with a big yard with the PVC pipe, and then they had this homemade stuff that Mr. Jose had made, and Chad took over. Chad Swallow took over. It was Mr. Jose's son, And he told, and one day a T got broken or something. They were expensive. I'm talking about a big PVC T. If you never seen one in the rice field, you would know. But one got broken.
Goes
and
into a
somebody-
ditch, right? Just water
yeah,
channels.
it's for water flow in and out, and you stick them into the levee, dig up the levee, and it's shaped like a T, but there's 48 inches hole that water passes in and out when you flood in the rice field and this and that. Well, one of them got broken one day. They were expensive, and I swear to God, I didn't break it, but somebody blamed it on me. So they wanted to take it out my check, a few $100 or whatever. I didn't make that much money to begin with.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what. I said, you could take this fucking job and shove it. Excuse my language. And so to this day, he said, that's the only man that ever told me I could take this job and shove it. So, so I left there. I did some other, I went to Martco. It's a wood plant place. They make pressed wood and wood chips and all kind of stuff. It's a dangerous place to work. I almost got killed about 3 times in there. I have a big debarking machine. It's a dangerous place to work. But anyway, after about a year.
Well, tell me
of all
about
that-
one of them places that you about. I mean,
Well,
tell me.
it's in
what, almost-
Lemoyne, it's called, and it's a big old plant. They bring in these 18-wheelers, bring in giant logs, trees, loads and loads of trees, and they'll put them in this debarking thing. It's a giant drum like you'd see on the back of a cement truck, but it's a lot bigger than that. And they just roll in there, go, 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 and it knocks all the bark off of them. Then they come out of there and they come down this conveyor belt and they go into this other place that soaks them down and sprays some water with some chemicals on them. And then you got to sit there, and then they have a big saw that will come down and saw them into chunks. And then some of them will go to a cross tie machine. These giant saws make a tree into a perfectly square cross tie. Others go to a wood chipping thing. They take all these, and that's where they make press wood out. They press the wood together. And so I worked in there for a while. It's like I said, almost got my arm sawed off one time. I fell into the bottom of that debarking place.
Oh, my God.
And I was kicking and scratching in there screaming at the guy until he turned off the machine. They had to throw a rope down so I could crawl back out of there. But literally, I almost got killed 3 times in that damn place. So after about a year of doing stuff like that, I said, I'm ready to go back to school. He said, if I go.
For real, go
I'm
back to
I'm
school.
not paying shit. You go. So I had to get all kind of loans. And so
Yeah.
I went back to school, and I met the woman I ended up marrying. And in about 2.5, 3 years, I graduated with a 3.5. I wasn't stupid. I was just drunk all the time.
What'd you graduate in?
Health and PE. Yeah.
So, whenever you said,
I got an English minor, which you can't tell from listening to people laughing. They don't believe it. I tell them I got 36 hours of college English. I got a minor in that. They say you're full of shit. You can't even talk English.
you said that you were at the same time in McNeese. Were you living in Ville Platte at the same time you were going to
I was
McNeese?
living in Lake Charles, and
Okay, I thought you were saying that while you were in school over there, you were working in Ville Platte.
no,
Okay.
I lived there, and we lived about 5 or 6 guys. Jumped in one apartment sometimes for a few semesters.
Y'all lived in an apartment over there?
Oh yeah. We had end of the semester parties where we'd burn everything we had. Everything. Between the apartment building, we had a fire over the roof, and everything we had, we'd burn it. And we had people. We had like these football players, baseball players, the cowgirl kickers, the cheerleaders. We had everybody would come. It was just a giant party in every semester. Big bonfire we have at our apartment, and all our furniture would get burnt.
This is freshman year.
This was freshman. This is when I was doing. Yeah, when I wasn't doing too good in school, and we'd have all. We have just. It was crazy. It was the most retarded things you ever seen.
That's funny.
So I was dating my future wife at one time. So I was at her apartment. I left about 3 or 4 in the morning. I come back the next day. Everything in my closet was burnt. All I had left was the clothes on my back and my boots, and that was it. Everything else was burnt. And so we had to go right around town, and people would throw away furniture like a broken leg or whatever. We'd throw it in the back of the truck. We'd get some milk crates and some 2x4s, and we'd get some 1x6s or whatever. We'd make shelves with that, and we'd make our own furniture basically.
Oh my God.
We had a foosball table in the middle of the living room.
Jesus Christ. They had that Frosty factory back over there, huh? Did they still have
we lived
that?
right next to Mr. Burger, across from
Okay.
back east Mr. Burger. We lived right there for a while. Then we lived in some other apartments. Me and a couple of guys, Randy Whittington, and it was Shane Mistrick from Fort Barry. We lived in some apartments for a while, and us 3, we had a good time. That was some nice apartments though, until we had a party over there one night, and then next thing you know, our whole wall was gone.
Oh,
And sheetrock over the 2x4s, you sheetrock it. Well, we got fired up one night, and we jump up and headbutt it and see how high we could come to the ceiling and break the sheetrock with our head, and we get the 3-point stanchion form. And next morning we woke up, the whole wall was gone. And so we had a wall putting back together parties. We get a case of beer, invite people, and the wall was like, oh, when we finished, it was all wavy.
You didn't get your deposit back.
No. Over the Christmas holiday, they ejected us.
I mean, that was the first year of college.
That was probably the second year.
Second year, okay. Makes it a little better. They let you stay for a first year. So, you started majoring in. Well, you said you graduated in health and science.
I started McNeese in '82. I graduated high school, so I started in '82. Then I flunked out. Then I went work like a dog, and then I went back probably in '85, and I think in '88 I graduated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Take a quick, like you're in your sophomore year now, and now going into your junior year, it's getting a little bit more serious to try.
Yeah, I kind of settled down. I got married.
You got married in college?
Yeah. I got married 3 times to the same woman, and she divorced me twice.
Oh my goodness! Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know if that's funny or not.
It can be, It depends who you are, I guess. Yeah, we got, we were dating for about 9-10 months in college, and she got pregnant, and so of course I did the right thing, and we got married, and we probably were too young to know if we needed to be together or not, but I loved her and she loved me at the time, and so we got married anyway.
The Christian thing to do, right?
Yeah, the right thing, take responsibility and all that. And so we got married and then finished college. And while she was pregnant, she wasn't able to finish because she was pregnant. So she ended up letting me finish, and then we went back home after that. After I graduated, and we were
together. She was from Ville Platte.
She was from Plaisance, actually, which is not very far from Ville Platte, 10 miles, and I'd never met her before. And so we actually met at McNeese.
Okay.
Andrea.
How'd y'all meet?
We met in the bar.
I don't know if you want to go into that.
No, it was nothing bad. I mean, we just met in the bar, and
y'all have a kid now?
She was
together still?
Yeah, we had 4 children. She was with her sister one night, Dawn, and a couple of friends that were from out of town that came to meet her. And they were at Miss Kitty's. It was a big old bar. We had a lot of good times at. But anyway, so we met, we danced and this and that, and it was about closing time, and they were leaving, and so I walked outside, and I walked up to the car, and basically I said, they said, you want to come and meet a couple of guys, friends of mine. They said, you want to come meet us? We staying at such and such. I said, I ain't going nowhere unless she rides with me. So she jumped out that car, jumped in my truck, and that was it. The rest is history,
Yeah. How long were y'all married?
We were married for
total.
about 10 or 12 years, and then we got divorced. Well, we were married in college by a by a judge.
You got married in college by a judge?
Yeah, by a judge.
And y'all were both enrolled in McNeese?
Yes. A couple of my friends, she had a friend of hers was the best, the bride of honor, the maid of honor.
Maid of honor, yeah.
And I had a couple of my friends come, Kip Manuel and Mark Jenkins. One of them was the photographer, one of them was the best man. I'm not sure which was which anymore. I think Kippy might have been the best man because he had penny loafers with the real pennies stuck in there. He was proud of that. But anyway, and then some short pants and a penny loafer. We were the judge, and we got married by the judge. And then we were married for about 10 months till we finally told our family. And, of course, they wanted a Catholic wedding, and so we got married in the church after that. So that was
so you had a formal wedding. Okay.
Yeah, formal. So that was 2 weddings. And about 12 years later, we got divorced. And then about a year later.
Are you still in school after the first
No,
divorce?
I'm working now. After the first wedding, yeah, I'm still in school, yeah.
So the first wedding, you were senior year.
Yeah, we went to the judge, and we got married in his office. And so I hadn't graduated yet. So continued going to school and graduated and lived in the marriage dorms. But none of our parents knew about it. We just, we didn't tell them.
Oh, my God. How do you keep that from your parents?
We just didn't go home. So anyway, after that, so we graduated. So we went back and told them what was going on. And she was 7 months pregnant, I think, when we told them, And so got married in the church. And so made it official. And everything was great, about 10, 12 years. And we got divorced. And then about a year and a half later, we got remarried again. So that time was by what they call it, the Justice of the Peace in our living room. It was just our family right there. So that was our third wedding. And then we lost our daughter, Morgan. She died. She was 5 years old. And after that, things fell apart. And so we were actually doing really good that time. And after she passed away, we got divorced for a second time. And so.
Can I ask what happened?
She was she had an aneurysm. She was born with it. We didn't know about it. She'd never been to a doctor a day in her life. And one day the vessel in her brain popped, and she bled to death in her head. And we went to the emergency room and all that, and they didn't have a clue what was going on. They let her die right there. By the time we got to Lafayette in front of a real doctor, as far as the head doctor, he said I could relieve the pressure and saved her. Got her to me. She sat in the emergency room for 6 hours and didn't know what the hell they were doing. And so, anyway.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. And
I never knew that.
Morgan would be about 26 right now, somewhere in there. Yep. Blonde hair, blue eyes, beautiful little baby girl. Never, always happy, and never been to the doctor once. And
Was she the youngest or?
She was the youngest, yes. Yep. Yep. I had a boy, girl. And so she was the youngest. Yep. But my other three probably saved my life because it wouldn't have been for them. After losing her, Lord only knows what would happen. But they all doing great. So
yeah, that's tough, man.
Yeah.
Definitely. Your youngest too is like your baby, of course.
Yep. But anyway, so that happened, and life's a bitch sometimes.
Yeah. Well, you had 3 kids. When did you have your first kid? In college?
Brock was born. He was conceived while we were in college, and so we had him after I think I graduated. I was about to graduate, and so we had Brock Anthony, and then Amber's about a year and a few months past Brock, and then Seth Anthony came about 6 years later, I guess, somewhere in there, and then Morgan was born about a year after Seth, and so.
They all still around Louisiana, over here?
Yeah. Brock lives about 2 miles from me in Youngsville. And
Okay.
He's going through hard times right now. He's going through a divorce and hard times right now. He lost his job, and so he's struggling right now, poor dude. And I'm trying to support him the best I can. Amber's doing wonderful. She's got a family. She lives in Opelousas. She's doing wonderful. Seth Anthony living in Maurice. He got a little house, and he was in the Marine Reserves for I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, somewhere in there. I think it might have been 7 or 8 years of reserves. And he went every weekend. He'd go to his summer thing, and so he's doing wonderful right now.
He's still in the military?
No, he just got out not long ago, and he got
Man,
married.
that's a long time. How long was
Well, it was the reserves, so it wasn't full time.
okay.
He'd have to go 1 weekend a month, and then like a month and a half or something in the summer, every summer, and so it takes longer that way. But he's out now, and he just got married a few months back, 2-3 months ago, and.
I'd love to have a couple of kids,
Oh, you need to. You
Wouldn't be
need to
bad
one
at
day. It's awesome to have kids, but
I'd love
it's
to.
great to have grandkids.
If I had
also.
3, if I had 5 on accident, it'd be fine with me.
It's whatever little Jesus wants you to have, bro.
Exactly, exactly. But it was good. So all right, so you're out of college now, and where are you going? Straight out of college, where are you going now?
I got my first coaching job at Ville Platte High, and it was I graduated December of '88. So January '89, I started my first coaching job at Ville Platte High School.
Fresh meat.
Fresh meat, and the first day of ever being a teacher and a coach, I walk out into my car, and we were poor. We had an old Pinto that was about 25 years old. Every time you turn off the key, it'd do boom, it would backfire. And so it's pretty crazy. So I'm walking out to my old Pinto. It was a piece of shit, but anyway, I had 2 kids fighting. They were fighting. I'll be damned. I don't care if they were fighting. It was after school, after 3 o'clock. I'm ready to go home. They were fighting on top of my damn car. And one was throwing the other one on the hood. So I grabbed one behind the head and the other one behind the head. I said, pull them over and said, what the hell's wrong with y'all fighting on top of my car? And so they kind of calmed down and said, you take us to the office? Take us to the office. I said, I'm going home. Get the hell out of here. That's my first day ever as a teacher.
I'm 23 years old. I don't give a damn. Get off my car.
I'm going home, boy.
That's the next thing I got to fix.
Yeah.
Oh, what was Ville Platte High? Is Ville Platte High now different than it was back then?
It's still Ville Platte High.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, so how long were you there? What were you doing over there?
I was there coaching for 1 year. And then Kevin Mann is
You were teaching at all?
Yeah, teaching. I was teaching English.
So
that was 8th, 9th grade English, which when I'm gonna tell you a story about my English class. I'm not good in English. I'm really not. I like poetry. I like the plays and all that kind of stuff. As far as vowels and nouns and all that shit, you put 1 line under this and 2 lines under that. I'm terrible at that. And so my first day at 9th grade English, I wrote whatever. Jackie went to the store. I said, okay, if you know what the subject is, raise your hand. They all raised their hand. Jackie. I said, that's right. We're going to put one line on the Jackie. Anybody know what the verb is? They all raise their hand. Oh, yeah, you. Was. I said, yeah. 2 lines on the was. And then another one. We're about to go next sentence. Another one raise their hand. But wouldn't that be a helping verb because of blah, blah, blah? I said, that's right. You're correct right there. So we're going to put 2 lines on that. But another raise their hand. But in this case, it wouldn't be because of blah, blah, blah. I said, all right. Pop quiz. I raised the board, took a pop quiz. I found out about 2 or 3 smartest ones. I wouldn't call nobody else after that.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think English was probably one of the hardest things to take. It was like, because you think you speak English, you know English,
Yeah.
but it's like
Not a clue.
English is not adverbs and I don't know.
Pronouns and all that. No.
I still don't know what that is
No,
to
I
this
don't
day.
either. I don't either.
I can read, I can write, and that's all that. That's all that
Now, I
matters.
love poetry. And that part, we do that whole year after that. We wouldn't mess with nothing poetry or like Beowulf and all that.
Yeah, yeah.
I like doing all
yeah.
that kind of stuff.
How long were you at Ville Platte High?
1 year at High, and Kevin Manuel was coaching there also. He was his 2nd or 3rd year of coaching, and he got offered the head football job at Mamou, which Mamou hadn't won a game in 3 years. They were 0-10, 0-10, 0-10 just about every year. So he got offered that job, and so we met there, and I guess he liked the way I coached, and so he said, I'm going to go if you come with me and run my defense. So let's go. My 2nd year ever coaching. So we basically went out there, and we went 2-8 the first year. We went 4-6 the next year, 6-4 the next year, and then kept on building.
Oh, you were there for 4 years, 5 years?
I was at Mamou for 4 years, yeah. And so we reconstructed the program for him. And then
You tell me a lot about this defense. Like you've always been a defensive coach.
I love defense, yeah.
So your main position was defensive end.
Yeah.
So what makes you? Obviously, you're the reason that the defense is doing so good. What are you doing different? You think that other guys are not doing?
Well, I
Being
learned
more
a lot
physical?
from a lot of different coaches I worked with, and I pretty much took the good from everybody and formed it into a ball to where I feel like it was the best for me, And
Yeah.
me and Kevin, people think we're crazy when you say this, but it's called a 4-2-5 defense now. People call it a McNeese 4-2-5 sometimes. Me and him started running that defense before they ever knew what that was. Back then, it was either a 5-man front, like a 5-2 monster, 5 linemen, 2 linebackers, and a strong safety, or it was a 6-man front with 1 linebacker, 6-1 they'd call it. That was the most popular defenses back then. Well, me and Kevin took that 6-1 or 6-2 a lot of times. They had 2 linebackers. We took our defensive tackle, defensive guard, defensive tackle, defensive ends. We left our guard. We took our tackles and put them over the tight end and the end spot. We took our defensive ends, put a more athletic person, and we widened them out. And we just called it a wide 6, And basically, it's the 4-2-5 defense. Me and him actually invented that.
Yeah.
And that was 4, 5, 6 years before they ever called it a 4-2-5.
I think whenever you came to Falls River, y'all ran a 4-2-5.
Oh, that was 20 years later. Yeah, that was 20 years later. I'm talking about in 1989.
Yeah.
We invented the defense, and people didn't know what the hell that was. And we knew what it was, and we just kind of kept building on it. But we restructured our type of athlete. We put in different spots, and
So were you like promoted from? So your first school, you were only there for a year, and what was your position at
I
that
was
school?
O-line and D-line coach at Ville Platte High.
And then
Then when Kevin got the offer to go coach Mamou, which hadn't won a game, like I said, in 3 years, he said, I'm not going by myself.
so you were
wanna come
defensive
with me?
coordinator.
Yeah, so I was the defensive coordinator.
So you
basically
kinda-
throw in the deep water and sink or swim kind of thing.
So after the 4 years, you kind of built up a good resume.
Yeah.
And then where'd you go after that?
Let's see. After Mamou, I think that's when we got divorced, and I went to South Beauregard. Run the defense
Wow,
over
in
there.
Sulphur.
Yeah, and Ragley, yeah, close to Sulphur. Ragley is the little city there, little town there. So I went to South Beauregard, the Golden Knights, coached there for a year, and ran the defense there. And then
Didn't
that's
like it?
when she came back and kind of seduced me.
Oh man, yeah. She made you move back.
Yeah, so I moved back. And then that's when we got remarried again.
So was it Mama was they were always kind of a bigger school, the 3A,
They were 2A at the time.
2A.
Yeah.
So you went from Ville Platte High was 1A, 2A.
Ville Platte High was 2A at the time.
So 2A to 2A, and then
And then
Back
to
to-
South Beauregard 1 year, and then I moved back. And then
Moved back to
when
where?
I moved back, let's see how that went. I think I went to Northwestern Plaisance after that. I think that was my first appearance at Northwest. I've been there a couple of
Northwest is right after Opelousas when you're driving.
times. Yeah. If you're going
On
towards
the right.
Eunice, if you're going towards Eunice, yeah.
Yeah.
You pass through Prairie Rome.
Okay.
And that's where Northwest.
So
is
you
at.
coached there for a year?
I think it's hard to remember. 36 years I coached. And I went to a few places. South Beauregard. I think I went to Northwest after that for a year.
What's your goal now? You know, after you had a couple of successful seasons. What's your goal? I mean, I know you're.
Well, I
so
ended
your
up the
wife
head
takes
coach at
you back.
Oakdale when I was young. I was the head coach at Oakdale and resurrected that program. It was down. So my last year there, we went 9-1, and we made the playoffs every year. That's 20. I think
You're a head
19
coach over there.
Head coach at Oakdale, yeah. That's when right after Mamu. It wasn't far after Mamu. I think after South Beauregard, I might have gone to Oakdale.
Oh yeah, Oakdale's kind of north of.
That's
South
past
Beauregard.
right through Ville Platte. Keep
Yeah.
on going straight through the country, through the
Yeah.
trees and all that. It's all pine trees. You end up in
Kinder and
Oakdale.
stuff. Kind of.
Yeah, Kinder's kind of
over there.
left of that. Yeah.
Okay.
So you go through Vidrine and you just keep on going. About 15 miles through a bunch of pine trees, one little skid road, and you go end up in Oakdale.
Y'all ever had any? Run into any like high schools that were messing around doing illegal stuff? Like
Oh.
they had some scandals.
Back in those days, Evangel and John Curtis
Yeah,
were
yeah.
constantly recruiting. I mean, we had to play.
They probably still to this day do
Well,
that.
but it's more legalized now. You know, they got it to where you could actually do it. The school of choice and all kind of stuff. But back in way before all that, them suckers. I'll tell you what. We played Evangel in the state championship game one time. They had won 5A state championship like 4 years in a row. Well, the 5A couldn't beat them, so they got tired of them. So what they did, they kicked them out and sent them back to single A. And that's in 2005 when
they
I
sent
got
John
my-
Curtis back to 1A.
They sent Evangel back to 1A. And that's when I was the head coach of Opelousas Catholic. And we got to the state championship game. Who we have to play? Evangel. They just finished winning 4 state championships in 5A. And we got to play them things. You know, I mean, it was like playing McNeese. It was. They outweighed us by 140 pounds a man across the line.
Oh,
I mean,
my
it was
gosh.
sick. Their tailback was 230. My biggest defensive line was 195. And, I mean, I'm serious. It's stupid.
I
And it was
remember.
12-7 at halftime. You know, I mean, or 15-7 at halftime. We were right there with them, but
Mm-hmm.
there's no way we could compete for an entire game. You know, they were just too good and too big.
So after Oakdale, what happened?
After Oakdale is another time. Let's see. I was at Oakdale. My wife left me again. That might have been that was the first time she might have divorced me. I'm not sure. It's all mixed up. But we were living together at Oakdale. Oh, she just left. We just separated. So she went back to where she was raised in Grand Prairie.
Okay.
And so I wanted to be near my kids. And so we got back together again. So I left. Well, the Opelousas Catholic job came open. And so I applied for it, and thank God I got it. And so I went from being the head coach at Oakdale to the head coach at Opelousas Catholic, and I was there for 10 years, and we had some
Really?
great years, and we played for the state championship. We made the playoffs every year.
Were you there whenever? I don't know. Whenever I was there, they had that baseball coach that came in and kind of restructured the whole program, started winning.
Well,
I can't remember his
I was
name.
the athletic director. When I was there, Scott Roy was our baseball coach. He was
Okay.
the head baseball coach. And we had Coach Merricks that came from Eunice, an older black coach. He's been coaching for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And he was an assistant. But Scott Roy did a wonderful job with that program. And Justin Boyd was a young baseball coach at that
Boyd.
time. Yeah.
I was gonna say Boyd. That
And
must have
Boyd's
been
still
him.
the head coach
He
there now.
still is.
Yeah, and we're good friends. Good friend of mine. He's a great person. I mean,
Man, talk about a
super dude.
coach.
Super dude, great coach. He
I was gonna say
lives
Boyd.
and
I couldn't
breathes.
remember it. Yeah, that was him.
This dude, I'm telling you, baseball. His son was born. I still laugh.
They're crazy.
His son was born. He named him Fielder because and he named his first. What's God? He's killing me now, Justin. What's your son's name? But the son was about to be born, and he was watching a baseball game on TV, and he named him the guy that got a hit right before the
Oh
baby came
my
out or
God,
something.
Chipper Jones or something. I mean,
Oh, so, dang, I forget his first name now, because I always called him Fielder. That's
Yeah.
his middle name. Nobody calls him that. I always called
Did-
him Fielder.
Prince.
No,
I mean-
no, it was like, dang it. I'm sorry, Justin. I'm sorry. Because I always called him Fielder. I never called him by his first name like everybody else. 'Cause
That's
I
all
like
right.
the name Fielder. I was the only one to call him that.
Fielder. That's a unique name.
Yeah, I think he was playing second base, the guy. So he made a play in the infield. So Justin, this dude had a big old giant screen TV. He had like 5 games played at one time. I mean, he loves baseball.
So so after, tell me about this. Do the coaches talk to each other? Like, do the high school coaches like communicate with each other about other coaches or about other teams? Do they give each other intel and stuff like that?
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, it might not always be true.
Yeah.
You'll make phone calls like you go into the playoffs. You'll call somebody from that district or whatever and try to get some. Maybe a little. You can't tell speed when you're watching a film. You can't tell.
Yeah.
All the time how good a player really is by looking at a film. Sometimes you can, but so you make a call and say, look, how good is this guy? Is he really that good like he appears to be? And but a lot of times if it's their district and they know that coach, a good friend of that coach or whatever, sometimes they hate this sucker and they'll give you everything.
I was about to say,
just spill the beans.
so you never know. You just got to take them.
Yeah, but we just do our own film work, I mean, you do your own film. I watch 20, 25 hours of film every single week.
Would you be at home watching film, just
all
watching
the
film?
time, 2 or 3 in the morning. I mean, I'm a film buff. I'm watching film to where I know their offense and defense probably better than they know it, and so you get to where I could kind of get this gut feeling what they're gonna run the next play or
Most
whatever.
of them run they already run a offense that about. They're running that offense.
Depends who you play, and some coaches are very by the book coaches. I call them. They pretty much gonna line up their defense like a 4-3 defense. They're gonna line it up. If we go in trips, I know exactly where they're gonna be. If
And
we
they're
go in
kids,
spread,
so.
well, the coaches teach them. They teach
Yeah.
it the basics, and that's what through like me and Kevin and some of the guys who I coached with. You never knew where we were gonna be. We would our defense was more complicated than our offense. We would adjust to the team's formations, and we had 6, 7 different calls on defense. I mean,
How do you teach a complicated defense to a bunch of 16 and 17-year-olds?
It's not always easy, but you break it down like, in other words, you teach them fundamentals, and then if I call it 31, in other words, that's a 3-tech and a 1-tech for my tackles. Well, I'm telling my 6-tech, which is head up over defense, over the tight end, if he's in a 4, you got to get in a 9. You got to get outside. If he's in a 1, you got to squeeze down to a 5. So all I got to do is call it 31, and that moves my defensive ends automatically where I want them to be. If I call it 13, they'll move according to where I want them to be. So you teach each individual guy little things that'll put him in the right place.
So you got to find the starter first, pretty much.
You gotta just. It all starts with defensive tackles. The defensive tackles. If they run the tight end left and you call it 31, you're gonna have a 3-tech, which is outside the guard. You're gonna have a 1-tech, which is outside the center. And most people will play a 32. We always play a 31. We shaded the center, and we were just blowing the gap, and causing all kind of havoc. Everybody else sat, squeeze, what we call it. You squeeze down and you spill. In other words, somebody comes to kick you out, you'll take your outside arm and put it through the inside, and you squeeze and you'll spill to force them to bounce out.
Yeah.
Anytime you see a running back hitting a hole and not having to stop, you got major problems on your defense. If he gets to that gap and he has a stutter step and try to bounce outside, then your whole team envelops him, team speed. But you can't let a guy hit a gap running
Yeah.
and nothing invasive at all in his way. You got some serious problems. You're going to get 50 scored on you.
Yeah, I mean, you're talking to the wrong guy because I don't know what in the world you're talking about. But I'm trying to follow.
Yeah.
They used to tell me I used to just run and do whatever they told me to do. But, so
But anyway,
I mean, man, it sounds like you know exactly what you're talking about. But, I mean, and you do because every time you went to a program, y'all won 2 or 3 more games than the program was.
I love defense.
And then you were at OC
if they can't
for
score,
10
they can't
years.
beat us. That's how I figure.
Exactly.
0-0, we're going to keep playing.
I always heard defense wins games. And the first time you ever drove up to school, I don't know if you remember this. You might even still have it. But you had and I loved it. I never knew where it came from. I do now. But you had a big old license plate on the front of your car. And it said, "Play like a champion today."
Yeah.
And I was like, where did he get that from? And you were always that hard-ass coach. You were like, don't mess with Coach Doug. I mean, you were a cool guy, but, I never got on your bad side, luckily. I don't think I played football for you. But I had the knee injuries. I never liked football. It wasn't my thing. But yeah, you play like a champion. Like I was always wondering where that come from, but that's exactly like you literally show that like you guys every time you went and played somewhere, y'all you play hard, you know.
I like to say to my
Are you a
kids,
Notre Dame?
fear no man. You know,
Yeah.
we are family. We're not individuals. We are family. And I always like to tell them, fear no man. Hey, all you got to be scared about is God. Whether or not you go into heaven or hell, you know, some dude could beat the piss out of you. You go in jail. You go in the hospital for a couple of months. You're gonna be okay again. Don't ever back down from any man. And so we played we owned the place. You know, it was our field, it was our town, and when we drove up on the bus, we owned this damn place. Nobody's gonna strike any kind of fear in us. You know, and that's
Yeah.
how we played. You know,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it takes like someone like you to put that in them, and they believe that, you know.
well, it's the truth. You know,
Yeah,
and we worked our butt off. You know, a lot of times we weren't the most athletic, and I tell them we can't run faster than them, and we can't jump higher than them. I'm just telling you the truth. They got more athletes than we got, but we outworked them in the damn weight room. We got more heart, we got more discipline, and we're smarter. We know what the hell we're doing better than they know what they're doing. 3 versus 2. Where I come from in math, we win every time.
yeah.
And so that's how we play the game.
And when you got a coach that teaches that, puts that in them kids that are growing up with them heads like that, and they're wondering what are they in life, and you got a coach telling you that's what you are.
Yeah.
I'm a winner already. You know,
Yeah.
I know. Don't care how big you are. You know, I'm gonna
It's
win.
not the size of the dog in the fight, it's the size
Yeah.
of the fight in the dog.
That helps a lot, man.
Yeah.
You know, when you have a coach, you'd be surprised how influential coaches are for when you're 15, when you're
Well, I
16,
know how they
when
were
you're
on me. I
17.
can tell you that. I was
And,
influenced by mine, so I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah.
And whenever when you get a good one, you know, like you, and somebody comes in and you meet them, and it's like that's a real man. That's what I want to be. That's exactly what I want to
Look,
be.
I ain't no angel. I screwed up many a time. You know that speech on what is it? Any given Sunday, I believe it is, maybe.
Yeah.
When Pacino gives that speech, he talks about the inches in a football game and all that. And he says, you know, I pissed away every dollar I had and this and that. He said, I can't do it for you. That's one of my favorite speeches. I mean, look, I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I know I did a lot of things that I'm not proud of, but at the same time, a lot of things that I am proud of. And you just got to be a man. You just got to take responsibility for your actions and fear no man and do the best you can in life. Life's a bitch, bro. It's going to knock you down. But you know what? If you lay on the railroad tracks, the train's going to pass over you. It ain't got no heart. You better get your butt off the tracks and stand back up again, or it's going to pass over you. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So after that, you know, what are you doing now? What are you What are
Right
you up
now,
to?
I'm trying to build some bar barrels.
man?
I'm looking for a coaching job again, but building them bar barrels, working at Barry.
If somebody was smart, they'd hire you to be the defensive coordinator or the head coach for a football team. My God.
Well, I'm
So you're in
hoping- I'm hoping.
Youngsville right now?
I'm living in Youngsville right now. Yeah,
Okay.
They got a few job openings around the area. You know, I'm just.
Well, look,
gonna
we
see how it
skipped
plays
over
out.
this. You came to False River too.
Yeah.
How was False River?
I
Tell
love
me about False
I
River.
love False River. I loved it. You know, it wasn't. We didn't have. But I don't know. What,
How'd you get the
25?
job?
Well, I was coaching at where was I at the time? I just left Sacred Heart. I was the head coach of Sacred Heart.
And why'd you leave?
Whew, you don't want to know that. You don't want to know.
All right,
that,
so
but
you came to False
it
River,
was,
and then
there-
what
there was some
happened?
stuff happening. But anyway, so I left Sacred Heart, and Ray called me, Ray O'Quinn, a good friend of mine. And he said, "Man, he said, come help me build this program because False River had been down.
Well, Coach Ray
I'm not
needed
trying to
some
be
help.
ugly, but it had been down. And so Coach Ray called me, asked me to come do the defense and help him get the program going. So I said, okay, got nowhere else to go. I moved to False River. Got me a camp on the river over there. It's a beautiful little camp. Mr. Raleigh Bloshit, the mayor of Maringouin, a good friend of mine, went to school together. And so he found me a place to live. And I think his stepsons were there at the time. One was older, one was younger. Anyway, I said, yeah, sounds good to me. So I went, helped Ray, and we had a great time. We had a really good time. And False River, not to be ugly, but they were not good at the time.
Oh, I
you
know, man. I was there.
Yeah,
I-
not good at the time.
I knew the players.
But we had some guys that got really some tough, gritty people, and and good kids, and they worked their butts off. And I think we played Christian Life. I want to say it might have been the first game of the year that year. Mm-hmm. And Christian Life was They were good. They were really good every year. And Falls River was really bad. It was like if it would have been a bookie given line, it would have been like a 40-point line. It wasn't even close.
Yeah.
And I think we beat them 13-7 or 12-7 that night. Mm-hmm. And that coach got fired a few weeks later for losing to us.
Yeah, they're not that's not even a school anymore, Christian Life.
It's not?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but they had this receiver that was going big time recruit, blue chipper. And so I said, we're not letting, it might have been like the third or fourth game of the year, I'm not sure, but this guy was an unbelievable receiver. I said, we're not letting this guy beat us by himself. We're going to make them do what they don't want. And that's my whole philosophy. We're going to take away their bread and butter. What they want to do, you can forget that. Do something else. Mm-hmm. And so we took away that receiver by double teaming him all night. I put the craziest little rascal I could find on our team, and he wasn't even a starter. But he had quick feet.
I know exactly what
you're
you're talking about.
as a snake. And so I said, you get over his ass and beat the hell out of him. Don't let him off the line. When that ball snapped, just beat him up. Just wrestle him, throw him. I don't care if you get a penalty. Beat the hell out of him. Frustrate him. That guy had one catch for 5 yards. He was averaging 140 yards a game or something receiving and like 2 touchdowns a game. He had one catch for 5 yards. We forced them to do something they didn't want to do. Lo and behold, come the fourth quarter, we beat their ass by 6 points, 13-7. They couldn't score. And so they were frustrated, didn't know what else to do because that was their go-to guy. And so I forgot, I can't think of his name, but
I don't know. I don't know who you're talking about. Logan Navarre, maybe, or
I wouldn't know his name if you said it because it's been so many years ago. But he'll know if he hears it. He got over that dang good receiver. He beat the hell out of him all night long. And I put one of my cornerbacks that like my number 2 corner way back over the top in case he got away, just in the backup. And then I put my best corner on their second best receiver, so he locked him down, so they couldn't throw to him. So they had nothing else to do. They had to try to run, and they couldn't run on him, so they were screwed.
Yeah, and then so you was working with Coach Ray. You had you. I'm trying to remember who else did you have on the coaching staff?
We had Coach Laverne,
Kirk
Laverne, and magnificent in the weight room. Great, that guy's he eat weights,
Mm-hmm.
But he was great in the weight room and special teams and O-line, whatever he did. I'm not exactly sure what his responsibility was.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a whole lot of coaches. We had us 3 and maybe some, I'm not sure, maybe one more.
Yeah, and so you were at Foster for a year.
A year only.
And then I remember whenever you walked in, we called them your Jesus sandals. Coming with your Jesus sandals because cigarette and back tucked in your ear, walking into class.
Yeah, I did tobacco back then too, probably.
Both.
One
and
time,
you were my biology coach.
Yeah, biology teacher.
Biology
I was very
teacher,
good
yeah.
at that, okay, I promise you.
And we didn't do much biology. We kind of watched football videos, which was more fun than biology.
Yeah, well, we had to break down some film,
We had to learn what we were going up against on Friday.
That's correct.
We had to see.
That's correct.
And that's when you
but
told
y'all
me.
were a good class.
That's when you told me about Palms.
I could go walk down the hall and BS with some teachers or whatever and come back and y'all were good.
Oh, man. And then we had old Iris come in.
Yeah, Miss Iris, we got there, and she was teaching as a full-time sub for a while, yeah.
Yeah, she was, man, I'll tell you what, being in Point Parish, you've never seen a woman from Guatemala in your life.
She's from El Salvador.
El Salvador.
Latino, yeah.
And probably never will again,
Yeah.
And she was awesome, though.
She moved to the States when she was like 13, and she ended up staying here. She graduated from Lafayette. She went to Academy of Sacred Heart and graduated from Lafayette, but we've been together like, right, 19, going on 20 years now, off and on, Yeah.
All right, well, we just had to go check the beef tongue gravy, and Jesus, so good. It's going to be something crazy. He's cooking up one tonight in the house, and it's sticking up the house. So good. A little bit closer to the mic.
Yes, sir.
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
But, yeah, man, so talking about Falls River, great. You lived on Falls River. Riley Blanchette helped you out with the camp over there.
Yeah, I was a good friend of mine. Beautiful camp.
Man, I remember one of my friends was telling me, he said, I came outside, Coach Doug's eating peeled shrimp out of his car, throwing the shells out the window and in the gym.
I'm not, no telling.
And I was like, man, that guy don't care. You walk down the hallway with a cigarette in the back of your ear. I'm like, this is the guy I'm talking about. This is what we need around Falls River. The meanest lady that we had working at Falls River, you just told her straight up, like, I don't give a damn. This is what we're doing. That's right. Jesus, she said something about your sandals. That's why we did that.
Oh, yeah.
She said something about you wearing sandals, and you said,
I said Jesus.
Jesus wore sandals.
I said, if Jesus can wear it, why can't I?
That's right. And you'd come in there, you sit in that director chair
Yeah.
that they had in the biology. But like I said, we got a good learning from Coach Dougie. We might not learn too much biology, but we learned a lot about Ponce and
Life.
teat sausage and life. And that's right. That was the best class I had that year. And my senior year, we had, we did a PE class because we didn't have to take too many classes, you know. So I think I had maybe three or four classes, and one of them was an elective PE. So we were in there from like 9 to 10 or 10 to 11, and it was just me, three other guys, and you, and we just kind of did whatever. So we go change signs, the sign on the road. Go, Miss Gwen would tell us to go put whatever up there.
Yeah, we sure did.
And
the letters and all that.
the letters, and that's the time you cooked the Ponce for us at school.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me. So I went and bought the Ponce. All right, I told this story on the TikTok, but I went and bought the Ponce. You told us all about it. You said you got to have a green one and you got to have a smoked one, because if you just have the one or the other,
the flavor's not the same.
the flavor's not the same. So that's the way I've always cooked it. I've done it about 3 or 4 times, and I followed the recipe. I never asked you for the recipe. I don't think I ever had your phone number, but I followed the recipe on Teet's website, and they told me to fill it up with water and then boil it down and keep poking holes in it for about an hour and a half.
I rather brown it a little bit. You know, I like to brown, not heavy like we're doing tonight with the tongue.
Yeah.
But I like to brown it for a little bit, and then you put some water. Always keep a little bit of water there, and just keep poking holes, or it just explode. You know, it'll expand because it swells up. You know, with the water.
Yeah, like a big sausage.
Yeah.
I mean, like sausage on the grill will
It's
burst.
just different. It has different herbs and different flavors in it, Paul, that a sausage won't have. But the flavor is just one of a kind. I mean, if you've never eaten it.
It is so different, and even like people get grossed out because of how it looks. But even the skin, like the outside layer, the stomach part, even that tastes.
But it's not like it used back in the day. That was actual pig stomach. Now with the health codes and everything else, it's more
I am
of that
telling you, that
synthetic
is
skin. It's
there's
more
no
like
way
a
that's
Hunan
synthetic.
skin, you know?
I mean, that is real. That is the stomach. It has to be. I mean, I don't know.
It used to be the actual stomach, like we made a boucherie. That was the actual pig stomach. You scrape it all out, and then you
It's
fill it
got
up.
to be the same thing. I mean, it has to be. I don't know what kind of scientists are making that stuff, but it is so good. And we had that. I cooked that last week for some people at a LSU football party over here, and a couple of guys from the same class. I called them up, and I said, "I'm cooking it tonight." They came over. They brought their kids. They loved it. I couldn't
If you
believe
don't like that, the only reason you can't like that is because you heard it was a pig stomach, and you just freaked out about it, and your mind's just negative, you know.
It's so
Because
good.
If I told you it was just beef or something, you ate it, you'd be like, oh,
That's why I don't tell
ain't never
nobody.
ate beef tastes like this before.
I tell people don't look at it. Let me cook it for you. I'll slice it up,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then you eat it.
That's right.
And then I'll tell you what it is.
That's right. And don't tell them what it is until
Yeah.
you eat it.
But it was so good. And then,
You ever ate the hog-head cheese?
oh yeah,
I love hog-head
hog-head
cheese. Man.
cheese.
They
I
got
never
some
made
good one
it.
at Teats also. That's
Uh,
nothing but the pig jaws and all.
there's some people that make it. Have you made it before?
I've never made it. Don't know if I even knew a recipe to make it. I just buy it because it's so easy. But it's cheap as dirt. I mean, you get a little slab,
There's a famous
$1.50,
restaurant,
$2.
a famous restaurant right down the road called Joe's Dreyfus, and the guy, it's the Dreyfus store. But a guy that used to that made it famous, he was a chef named Joe Major. He just passed away not too long ago. But every year he'd make hoghead cheese, and my dad would go get it, buy it from him. He'd make it by the little bitty trays. He'd make little, like little loaf trays of it.
It's
and,
basically grind
just
up
give it
different
to people.
parts and they smush it together and make like a little skinny whatever. You know?
Now people make it different. I like it when it's finely grind. You
Yeah.
can't see the pig nose.
Yeah, sometimes you get a little bone in there, you know.
when you're looking in the gelatin and you can see parts of the pig, I'm like, I don't want that. But whenever it's all grounded up pretty nice and you can't see, we can't tell what's what.
You put that on a cracker with some hot sauce.
That's right.
Lord have mercy.
And look, you were telling me, I know you're a cook because you cook all over the place. And while we were cooking this meal over here, uh, he said, "Man, there's a famous recording studio that they have in Lafayette, around the area
Milton.
in Milton." And I said, "Yeah, that's Dockside Recording." He
That's
said,
right.
"Oh, they had a couple of famous guys go over there. I don't know, Elton John and."
Yeah, they have
So-
Elton John's piano or something, or
So
organ or
didn't
something.
didn't they hired you to go cook over there?
Yeah.
Who is
yeah.
this? Tell me the story.
Well, Tony Ardoin is a great bass player, and he's played with Wayne Toops. He actually played in Nashville with some guys before, and it's interesting to hear him tell his story, his adventure as a bass player. But me and Tony are good friends. I coached his son. His son was our sent on the state championship team that year. We went to play for state. But Tony called me one day. He said, "Hey, it was the summer. Now, of course, coaching and I do weight room or whatever. But I'm off basically for the summer." He said, "You want to come cook and make some money?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "What you talking about?" He said, "They got a studio place in Milton, and they got this band from Holland. I don't remember the name of the guy. It was this guy's name and the band, whatever. And they're from Holland, and they've been traveling in Louisiana. They've been in New Orleans, and they come and record an album at this, what you call it, Dockside? Or whatever.
Dockside, yeah.
Yeah, and I didn't know that. That was 3 miles from my house where at the time. I didn't even know that place existed. I said, "Yeah, if I can make some money, whatever." He said, "You go cook breakfast, lunch, and dinner for him." And well, I said, "That's fine." So I called Craig Jenkins, a good friend of mine. I said, "Hey, go to T-Boys, get me some boudin. Go to T's, get me some pawns. Go get me some sauce." I sent him to some places. I said, "Bring me all the ingredients so I can cook for these fellas." So I made them all kind of shit. We made jambalaya, I made seafood gumbo, I made hen and sausage gumbo, I made sausage and tasso in a red gravy, sauce piquant, all kind of different meals. Well, every day I'd go cook. I made them some. In the mornings, I'd cook them some pain deux, it's called. It's some.
I've heard of that. What is that?
Or egg toast or French bread, some people call it.
What it?
You
Egg
take
toast? Egg toast.
Pain deux. Yeah, you take a couple of eggs and you break them and you scramble them with a little bit of milk and a little bit of vanilla flavor, and you put some sugar in there, and you take some white bread and you dip it in there both sides, and then you put it in a pan of butter and you fry it up, and it comes out like golden brown. It's a great breakfast.
My mom used to make that.
Oh, it's so good, it's stupid. And so that now I made them some what they call the little things, the biscuits in New Orleans.
Beignets?
Yeah, the beignets. I made them some beignets homemade. I just take some cheap biscuits, the cheapest biscuit you can find, flatten them out, make a little slit through them, and you fry it on very low heat in some grease. They'll swell up and throw some powdered sugar on them. But anyway, all kind of good stuff.
Uh-huh.
Well, I drink my Jim Beam, of course, while I cook. I love Jim Beam. So when about a week later, they left. I cooked for them. I was like 18, 21 meals, something like that. When they left me a big half gallon of Jim Beam and $100 tip, and they said, "This is the best food we ever ate in our life."
Oh,
Said we were just in
guaranteed.
New Orleans for a week. Said New Orleans, talk about New Orleans food. New Orleans, they got a clue how to cook compared to what we ate over here. And they were so fired up. And they made that album, and they even put my name on it. Tony sent me a picture. They put on the album cover, they said blah, 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 and producers and all that, and they put, "And thanks to our cook, Doug Guillory."
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, that was
dude.
pretty cool.
My goodness. Were you staying over there, or you just stayed at your house?
I stayed at
and
my
you-
house, and I drive back and forth, and I go cook for them. And it's a beautiful place. That Dockside, you don't even know where it's at. It's surrounded by bushes.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big old giant house over there, a big recording studio, a big swimming pool with a pool house, and beautiful place when you get inside the gate.
Yeah.
And
They got
yeah.
a gate to get
Oh,
inside?
it's a big old gate that opens up to let you in.
That's
can't
a
go,
famous recording studio, dude.
You can't even see in there. It's covered with hedges all the way around.
You had what you said you saw Elton John
a
play-
big organ or piano, whatever, that Elton John used to play on, and they had pictures of famous people that recorded there. I'm not going to tell you because I might be lying exactly who, but
Yeah.
very famous people made some serious albums at that place over the years.
And you also Todd, right? The
Todd.
bass player?
Tony.
Tony, I'm sorry.
Tony, that's all right.
Tony, the bass player. And you also went with Wayne Toops and
Oh,
did
yeah.
some stuff.
Tony played with Wayne Toots for quite a few years, and
Yeah.
was the young guy I told you on the guitar. I watched him play when he was young.
Hunter Hayes.
Hunter Hayes, yeah. He played with Wayne Toops a few times, and so Tony and I were good friends, like I said, so he would give me passes. I would drive up right to the stage on Wayne Toops, like we needed to play at UL or somewhere. And we'd walk up on the stage, and him and his eyes would go on the stage, and we'd be bouncing up and down while the music's blasting, and it was awesome, you know. And so he didn't have to wait for the
Man, you
pass
could
right
be
to the
somebody's
cops and everything.
personal. You could have been Wayne Two's personal chef. He wouldn't have got in jail for all that.
Yeah, but Wayne's a cool dude. He is a nice guy.
Yeah, man. I was saying I opened up for Wayne three or four times. We did a couple of festivals together, and nicest guy.
Oh yeah,
I
I didn't
mean,
know you sang. Tell me about you. I'm talking me. Tell me about you and your singing career,
well, yeah. I mean,
because I don't know nothing about that. You know.
yeah. Well, I started some music. After I learned how to play the guitar in college, and I learned it from YouTube and stuff like that. And I just wanted to learn to play it because to kind of ease my own mind. I wanted to always learn it, just to learn it, just to know how to do it. Some guy told me when I was a kid that if you learned it, you'll never not pass up a guitar and play it. It's always something to do, no matter what. It doesn't require, electricity or anything. You can just play the guitar and whatever. You're going to enjoy it forever. And I've tried learning it probably 3 or 4 times, and I just didn't know the proper way to learn it. And one of my buddies was playing the guitar, and I was like, man, if he can learn it, I can learn it. One of those guys. And so I went to Guitar Center. I bought the cheapest guitar I could find, and I bought a learning book or whatever. And I went home, and I sat on my bed in college, and I sat on my bed, and I said, I'm about to lock in and learn guitar. And I sat there. I looked at the pages. I didn't know what I was looking at.
Oh, you see the little round circle with the
Exactly. And I looked at that and I said, what the hell is this? So what I come to find out, if you don't know a damn thing about guitars like I do, the best thing to do is learn your favorite song you want to learn. So at the time, I've always been an old country guy.
Yeah.
I like listening to old music, so I was on like a Willie Nelson kick. So I was listening to Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain. So I said on YouTube how to play Blue Eyes Crying in the Rain.
I like that Elvis Kentucky Rain. I love that song.
And I started. That's the best way to learn guitar. Go look up what song you want to learn, how to play this song. Start from there. The people will tell you, and you'll start to learn how to strum, how to put chords in places. And anyways, I never wanted to learn guitar to be famous or anything like that. I just wanted to learn to play for my own and sing to myself.
You're gonna have to teach me, because my mama always, she made me take guitar lessons when I was 12 years old, and I didn't want to do it.
I
and
took
ended up
piano
quitting.
lessons, and I was always when I took piano lessons for probably 5 years. And the only thing I got from piano lessons, I could never read music. My brother and sister could. My brother and sister could, but I look at this foreign language and I'm like, no, I could play it better than them because I'm hearing I'm hearing it. So I'm like, well, I can hear that. So I would play off of hearing way better than I could off of reading.
Well, you were meant to be.
And that's just the way that's the only way I could do it.
It was like a natural gift given to you.
It's like, don't ever try to tell me how to. I would sit for this lady an hour every 2 times a week, and we'd go over this music, and I would never learn it from reading it. I just couldn't. But I know what. So I had this piano in my house my parents bought, and it was an electric piano, and it had a display on it. And you could go look up these classical songs, and it would show the keys hitting. It would show the fingers hitting what keys and when. And what I would do is I could slow it all the way down in slow motion and see what keys it's hitting, and I just played from ear. That's how I have to learn it.
That's cool.
So that's what I would do, and I ended up playing some music. Drunk at one of my buddies.
I'm not drunk, huh?
One of my buddies' wedding receptions, and the band that was over there, I was drunk, telling them in their ear, oh, I'll play this, but I would never do it in front of people. And I wouldn't. I was so shy. And the guy was like, well, if you ever want to do it, you have to do it now. And I'm like, oh, well, no, not today. And he said, no, you're going to do it. We're going to take a break and you're going to play. And I said, no. And he was like, yes, absolutely. And he said, we're going to take a 10-minute break. Come back, you're playing the next song. And I'm like,
best thing ever happened to you.
somebody recorded it and sent it to my parents, and my parents had sent it to somebody else. And it like word it got out, and they had sent it to somebody got it, and one of my people we know, Keith Sykes in Nashville, he had heard it, and he'd been a songwriter for Jimmy Buffett and those guys, and I ended up going to record an album with him in Memphis.
Awesome.
And that's just kind of how it got started.
That's awesome.
And,
You know, sometimes it's meant to be. The doors open and close for a reason, you know.
And it's fun, man. I traveled all over the place to play music, and now I travel all over the place. I still do music and stuff, but you know, I'm traveling, and one of my second joys is food. I love cooking, and I love being.
When you get rich, Harmon's your personal cook. I'll travel with you. You go sing, I'll cook in the background.
When that happens, maybe we'll both go. You know.
You know, I can sing like a bird. I don't know if you know that.
I want to hear it.
Oh,
you know.
people tell me I sound just like Randy Travis.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm back in 1982. But whenever you get rich, I want to be your personal cook. I'll go cook for you. You go on stage and do your thing, brother.
You're gonna be the first person on the phone.
I can handle that.
But man, we did this for about an hour and a half or so, and I can't thank you enough for coming down.
I had a blast.
We have some good food coming tonight. What are we cooking again?
Some beef tongue and some pork roast stuffed. Everything is stuffed and injected, and we got some sausage and potatoes on the side, and it's gonna be good.
Man, thank you again for coming. This is gonna be awesome.
I just want to thank Mr. Barrett Bourdon again, and Barrett Bourdon Furniture, and his son Drew at the Buck Wild season for sponsoring. You know it's a $49 tongue we got that pot. Mr. Barrett.
Thank you, Barry Bourdon. That's awesome.
Thank y'all very much for everything.
Yeah, dude. So we're gonna call it out here. Cheers to everybody. We're having a good time with Connor James. Doug Guillory came to see us tonight, and great show today. Y'all check us out, and look, leave a comment, leave a like, repost it. You can use my video, repost the video. You know, go check us out.
Y'all follow this dude. He's gonna be a rich man, famous man. He's gonna be in Nashville singing on stage. Get in while you can.
So.
Don't be jumping on the train later. Get in while you can.
Appreciate it, guys. We'll see you later. We're doing fine. Out of here.